Good morning, everyone. Brian here with BMK Retro Gaming. This morning I review for you guys of the Atari VCS 2600, the IntelliVision home video game console line original library game, Frog Bog. Now, as you guys may recall, some time ago I actually did the Atari VCS 2600 port by Mattel's M Network, Frogs and Flies. Well, this is technically the game on the IntelliVision that port was based on, or adapted from. And in both cases, they're both very good games. And if you guys watch my video on that one, you'll probably see that it's very good on the Atari VCS 2600, but the IntelliVision, to me, is kind of where it's at. You kind of have to go back to where things started at, and maybe I should have done this one first, but I was just going through the games I knew about and could do a review on pretty easily at the time, so. Anyway, I don't really have a copy of it a physical copy, so we're not going to be getting into that one. Well, I guess there's a possibility maybe my friend Scott or somebody sent me one, but I don't think so. Didn't bother to check. In any case, it was developed in 1982 by APH Consulting, I believe it was, or Consulting Technologies, it was one of those. And then it was published by Mattel Electronics for the IntelliVision home video game console line. And as some may point out, it's kind of more what you might consider to be largely a kid's game. But so what? It's still fun whether you're a kid or an adult. I definitely enjoy, especially if I've come off of playing a not so good round of another game that was just too frustrating and all, but still felt like playing something else. I would enjoy, getting this one out next and going at it because I know I can beat the tar out of the computer AI opponent for the most part. It's a game that may be a bit more fun with two players than with just one, but I enjoy it solo, as I almost never have a second player anyway, so. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get us set up with, I don't, again, have a physical copy. I just have it to emulate via my @Games IntelliVision flashback, which, as far as I know, does a pretty good job of it. So I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to get that set up, and we're going to take a look into some gameplay. Okay, so here we go. It's on my second page of emulation, I think. You press clear for the easiest difficulty. Forgive me for getting about the lights. Still refining this little process here. Anyway, clear for the easiest setting. Here we go. Pretty simple controls, just back and forth on the directional disc lets you go after jumping to get the flies or other insects. Of course, I'm the one in purple. Fine by me as it goes. And the computer AI opponent is the one in gray. Your tongue comes out to get them pretty much automatically, so you don't have to worry about that. As you can see, you start out with what looks like a more or less early morning cycle, and it gradually changes throughout the day until you get to night, wherein the stars coming out will signify the end of the game. Gameplay is pretty simple, just like with the port, the Atari VCS 2600 port, Frogs and Flies. This is not what you would consider to be a super tough game. 20 points, you little jerk. And now more. Really, a lot of it's just, lining up your jump where you've got a good shot at actually intercepting an insect or, fly, insect, whatever, and then that tongue comes out to get them. Once you kind of hit a rhythm with it, you can, as I do, beat the tar out of the computer AI opponent. Especially if you're playing on the easiest difficulty setting like I am right now, so. Of course, there are some flies or insects which happen to move a bit faster than than others, so they can be a bit trickier to get your tongue around. Ooh, got it right at the end. Let's see, 205 to 125, that's, let's see, 75. Beat him by about 80 points, I'd say, I think. My math may be about wrong. Anyway, I think you guys get the idea with the gameplay, so. Okay, so that was Frogs and Flies, a 1982 original library game for the IntelliVision home video game console line. Like I said, pretty good. More of a kid's game in many respects, but not really a bad game by any measure. A good one to unwind with after a rough gameplay session that just didn't go right with something else. At least that's the way I do it a lot of times. And it's just one on its own. Like, right there, getting to beat the, pretty much beat the tar out of the computer by, what, around 80 points? Yeah, getting to smash on a computer AI opponent like that, even just in the easy difficulty setting, is satisfying, to say the least. Now, my preferred YouTubers, High Retro Game Lord, and one, I've had the Crow Continuum among them for a bit, but they don't have a lot of gameplay footage themselves, so I actually went ahead recently and subscribed to his follow-up channel, which is the Crow Continuum Continued. The Crow Continuum Continued. And it's where he showcases more of the gameplay, and both of these channels have some very nice videos featuring this game, so I'm going to leave links for you to both. And again, I'll go ahead and leave a link to the Wikipedia article, which covers, it mostly says Frogs and Flies on it, but covers both versions of the game, pretty much. They're somewhat different, but not that much. Which, after a while, you guys will get a nice little surprise as we'll take a look into examining that. Spoiler alert. Anyway, if you enjoy my channel's content, please like, share, and subscribe. And please leave any questions, comments, or suggestions down in the comment section below. Yeah, questions, comments, or suggestions. Not sure if that came out right the first time. Anyway, you guys take care, have a nice morning, and I will see you again in my next video.